Hey guys, welcome back. It's Thursday, and that means I should be at school, but it's spring break 2014, and that means it's time for a layout update. Alright guys, so as I said, it's spring break, which means it's been about 4 months since my last layout video, which is a long time. So basically what I wanted to do with this video is give you guys a refresher on the layout. My last layout video was shot with my old camera, which frankly kind of sucked. So right now I got a brand new camera. It's a Canon Vixia HF-R300, long title. Anyway, like I said, it's been long time, basically because it's been so cold out in the barn and this weather's just been so cold and snowy, and apparently my dad doesn't want to heat the barn even though we have a heater for it, which propane must cost a lot of money if he doesn't want to do that. But anyway, just a little refresher video. My old layout update will be taken down once this is uploaded, so anyways, we'll just take this as the retake of that video. So anyway, without further ado, I'm gonna shut up and welcome to the layout, guys. Alright, so first I'm going to show you guys the control system that I use. It is the NCE Power Cab. Great system, great for a starter DCC, and that's what I use as power. I only have one working engine right now. I have a lot of them that are just sitting around, like that one and those ones, because they don't have a decoder in them. But hopefully I plan to get some decoders in those. But anyway, this is a Atlas Genset number 300 for Norfolk Southern, and it has tsunami sound in it, so if you want to listen, it sounds pretty good. So that's the tsunami sound decoder I have in it. The track I use is Atlas Code 100 track. Decent track, you know, but I have been having problems with it. The layout's been sitting for about 4 months now, and, well, frankly, it's been showing. So my track is really dirty, especially right along here. I don't know if maybe you guys can see that, all the dirt on my fingers right there. So yeah, if anybody out there knows a good solution to cleaning track, that would be greatly appreciated, because I'm at a loss right now. That's why on my last video, the teaser video, I didn't even run the engine because it won't really move, especially since it's got a sound decoder in it, so it'd be really bad. But like I said, if you've got any suggestions or tips, let me know, because I'll be glad to try them. I'm definitely considering soldering all my rail joints. I just don't know how to do that, so I'm gonna have to do some research on that. But anyway, that's what I use to for tracking and running on the layout. The layout size is 12 feet on that end and 16 feet on this end. Just a bunch of 4x8 sheets piled together, and with this little triangle thing in the middle where the workbench is and everything. So yeah, that's my track, power, and engines. Okay, so the first side of the layout that I want to show you is this end right here. It's the most completed end of the layout, and you can see I got rock walls and stuff started. I still need to paint this side of the wall right there with some burnt umber paint that I have, and place a lot more rock castings. Definitely need to get some more rock castings going right here. But overall, this end of the layout looks pretty done. It's mostly complete. I just need to spruce everything up a little bit. But other than that, this is the most completed end of the layout, using Woodland Scenics, all Woodland Scenics products except for the branches and stuff right here. That's Scenic Express. But either way, this end of the layout looking pretty nice. Very pleased with it. We have a little grade crossing right here. I don't know if you guys noticed that, where it heads into the tunnel and goes over on that end of the layout, which we'll go visit now. Coming out of the tunnel, we hit this side of the layout, which is less completed. Ballast does go through all the way here, all the way down here, and kind of stops right there where it kind of funnels off. But anyway, this is using about the same products as you've seen over there on the last, right over there. And kind of botched. I need to restart because this doesn't really look too good. But we've added some trees in. I really love these trees. They look really nice. And this signal right here, which we'll get to that in a minute, but this end of the layout probably needs a real good sprucing up. It doesn't look as good as I thought it would. Definitely need to be painting this side of the layout right here. As you see, I've already kind of started to do that, but yeah, it just doesn't look good. We also have these NS tags that I got from a very nice engineer. Locomotive defect tags and everything. Dynamic brake problems. Those are pretty cool. So I just have those hanging on there. And I don't know, I forgot to mention my signs that I have hanging up over here. My railroad crossing clock and my actual railroad crossing sign. So this is just some of the few things. So now we're going to talk about this signal right here. Here's the only signal on the layout. It's a BLMA modern block signal, dual head. And before I get into some of the real details about it, I want to tell you guys a little bit of story about my first time hooking this up. So, got it for Christmas, you know, I was all excited, ran out to the layout, immediately buried a hole in there for it, and got it placed. Started running wires through the bottom, and immediately I was reading on the box how much voltage it needed for the LEDs, and I seen on the box it was like, oh, 2 volts max to the LED. So I was like, okay, well my power cab puts out 2 amps, and at the time it wasn't clicking that 2 amps is a heck of a lot bigger than 2 volts. So long story short, I ended up hooking the top green LED for this head directly to the track bus, and it flashed literally for a tenth of a second, and well, the green light was never seen again. So that's a little bit of a mistake on my part, or well, it was a mistake on my part. Should have been thinking at the time when I put this in, but oh well, you know, learn from your mistakes. So that's the story. I'll have to get it off the tripod here to show you the wiring that goes beneath this. But basically, wiring runs through down here on the signal, and it's kind of at a standstill now because I ran out of solder. So right now I just have a bunch of alligator clips and everything, holding things together and making things work. So yes, I did learn from my mistake. The solution is to just add a resistor in between the signal and the track bus. But if I hook this wire up right here, I believe the yellow LED still works. Yeah, this is the only one I have working so far. So it looks really nice. I'm definitely pleased with it. It's just going to be a little bit tedious to get it hooked up, especially since I ran out of solder. So this is at a standstill right now. And eventually I want to hope to have it hooked up to a switch right here on the layout. So kind of like this for my Zippo lighter sign over there. Just be able to turn like green, yellow, red, or something like that, and have that for both signal heads. I've started working down here on the top one. Now I don't have a 3-way switch, but you gotta remember I burned out that top green bulb, so that means I only need a 2-way switch right here. So I started a little bit of wiring going under here, but this is all at a standstill because I ran out of solder, and that solder will be necessary. So anyway, that's my BLMA signal. That doesn't really work. We also added a little bit more details. You got my sign for the railroad location. It says cut. My El Camino, and of course the guy who owns the El Camino, the signal maintainer right there. So anyway, that's the signal. Now we're going to move on to that corner of the layout. Alright, so we're in the back corner of the layout now in my little pop-up hole. And this end of the layout is actually my favorite part. It's coming along fairly nicely. Definitely needs a long way to go. As you can see, the scenery just kind of stops over there. But definitely my favorite part. It has a very nicely done grade crossing, and even a culvert over here that actually goes underneath the track, and you can look through there and actually see through it. So that's very cool, you know. Eventually we'll have a full working ditch system right here with a little bit of water in it, a little bit of hill right there. These crossing gates are made by Bachmann. Not the best, but they do a pretty good standstill. I just got to figure out how to keep the gates down because, as you know, they tend to pop back up because of the weight on the end. So I got to figure out how to take that off. But and then this one right here, I just have popped up with a little railroad tie that I found. So anyway, that's the back corner. These stones I found while on vacation. They're really nice at a playground. And then I use drinking straws as my culvert pipes. As you can see, a little black piece right there. Drinking straws. I got one of those on both ends. Painted them black. The expandable part of the drinking straw I used. And it actually turned out very well. I'm definitely pleased with how that turned out. That was a great idea from wherever I got it from. And I can't forget my little defect detector seen back here. I don't know where the piece that goes in the center of the tracks went. Forget where that went, but I'll have to find it and then put that back in over there. So anyway, we're gonna turn them around behind me. This might be a little bit tricky. And coming around, you see you get a switch right here, and I have this little set-off siding that runs into a little causeway. This is modeled after the Edison Bay Bridge, or just the Sandusky Bay Bridge in Sandusky, Ohio. They have a little bit of a causeway, and obviously their bridge is a little bit bigger than the one I have. But either way, their causeway is really cool. The stone I just showed you that I just got back from vacation, on the part behind me, that'll be used right here as well if I can get some more of that, or something of the equivalent. But either way, this is just a little siding right here to store some cars. My custom Mao cars over there, that caboose and this little NS box car right there. This is just like another spot to store cars. And then this part right here is still connected to the layout, but the causeway part right here, this part is not connected to the layout at all. So I actually had to use some caulk and everything, like all that good stuff, to get so that it wouldn't move when we're running trains over and everything. So yeah, my mine right here, we'll get to more about that. This will be a pretty deep river. I'm gonna have to find some really hard epoxy because this is actually a major, if you can't tell by the footprints on it, a major traffic area to clean track and get derailed cars and everything. So I'll have to find a really hard epoxy for it, but I don't think that should be too hard of a problem. So next stop, over there. Alright, so over on this end of the layout, the first thing most people notice is the Zippo lighter sign. Now I got this because of my grandpa. He has a huge collection of old Zippo lighters. That sign actually does light up. Batteries just aren't in it. It's pretty cool. I'll actually probably insert a video of it into the video, probably at the end, so stay tuned for that. But anyway, moving on, we have our little town section right here. This end of the layout is pretty well complete. The ballast needs completely redone, along with some of the cork work. You can tell how it's been dormant for a while. Some of the cork is coming out of its place. So I'll definitely have to do a little bit of repairing. But we have a little lumber mill scene here, which goes in between the jail and the fire department, back to the main road. Cafe. And also this Walther's kit that I just recently got for Christmas, or well, when I say recently, but recently put on, is the Walther's Merchants Row #1. Pretty neat little building, you know. It freed up definitely a lot of buildings to place in other places. So anyway, the track just kind of curves around here, comes up to a little sawmill area. My bad. We have the little tanker right here. It was an old rail car tanker, but they took off the wheels and are using it as just a storage tanker at this lumber mill. It was a Chicago Great Western tanker. Full focus, come on. I don't know if you can see that, but anyway, moves on to my little sawmill area, station area, Thunder Mountain Logging, station again, and back up to the front where we see the first crossover, because there are dual tracks right here, if you haven't seen, right there. So let's move up to the front end right here and show you some more. This front end is where the power cab mains power supply comes in. It's about right here underneath the engine. There are 4 other places where the power supply comes into the track, just so you know. I forgot to put that in the beginning, but either way, we got our little siding for the mine, 2 tracks for the mine, and then 1 track for the team track, which also has a overhead loader for it. This is actually a runaround siding after here. It runs around and connects all the way back down to where our BLMA signal is over there. This end is not really complete, mostly because this is the place on the layout that I put every single tool that I could ever need. I know I probably should put it on here, but as you can see, this is just a mess. So again, some things I can do, I guess, while I'm out here. We have our track cleaning and everything. You can see back under there by our river, do a little cleaning there. Eventually that main street right there will be on a bridge, and it'll come across and connect to about where the track cleaner tool is, and run all the way back the length of the layout to that crossing back there. So that'll be our major highway that'll run through the layout. A few more things I got to show you. This spot right here is the last spot I'm going to show you with scenery. Looks pretty decent. Probably could use a little bit more grass. Some of the dirt's coming through. We have my dad's old Union Pacific Centennial locomotive. He got this for like 20 bucks back in the late 70s, early 80s. Forget when he got it, but really nice model. It's just really big. Doesn't run the best, obviously, because it's big, so we never really used it. Someday, though, maybe we'll run it. I don't know. Probably be a pretty tough project. It also has an actual flashing light up there. Pretty detailed. Really nice unit. I forget who it's made by. I'd have to check through these boxes that are below the layout. But either way, got trees and everything. This will eventually be surrounded in ballast as our little rail fan park someday. And then we have our makeshift road that probably needs a redoing again. Same thing with that grade crossing over there. Kind of botched, but oh well. So anyway, that about sums up the layout pretty nice. Oh, I forgot to mention these pictures up here. These pictures, some of these pictures were taken from the NS calendar. And then like one of these, this was in a box of prints that I had. NS calendar, UP print, NS calendar, UP print, UP print, then the corner, and then another UP picture, NS calendar, another UP print, NS calendar, UP print, and then my clocks again. But anyway, I think now that about sums everything up. This passenger car, I keep on forgetting to mention this. Very nice Walther's car. Got it for like 20 bucks, and it's amazing. Hopefully someday we'll be able to use that. I might even put that along with my Union Pacific engine. We can extend that track a little bit right there. But anyway, that about sums up the layout. If you guys have any questions at all, leave them in the comments, and I'll be sure to answer those as fast as I can. That about sums it up. Stay tuned at the end of the video for an insert of that Zippo lighter sign all the way over there, and we will. So I'll let you see how that works off of the switch right back there. So anyway, that about sums up the layout. If you guys have any questions about it, what I use on it, anything, go ahead and leave that in the comments. As you can see, I got a lot of supplies to do work, so might as well get busy on that. Also, don't forget, any tips on track cleaning would be great, because, well, I'm in need of some serious track cleaning. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'm glad you took the time to watch this whole video. I know it was kind of lengthy, but got to cover everything. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time, guys, right here on my channel. One more thing I wanted to show you guys before I finish is I just lowered down this edge right here. You see how high it was there before. This allowed me to give a lower, better down low shots, and hopefully be able to view my trains a little bit better. Sorry about the radio in the background with Aerosmith, but I didn't feel like turning it off. So yeah, that's just the newest thing that I just did. So
I'm just slightly addicted to it.
So yeah, hopefully that'll allow you to get better low down shots for you guys. So that really is it all though. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time right here, my channel.
It was actually a